Chosen One, I need you to stop scrolling right now. This is not a random video finding its way to your screen. This is a direct intervention meant only for you. 3 people will ever receive this specific message in this exact moment, and you are one of them. Do not swipe away. If you leave now, you will miss the exact key you have been praying for. I know you are exhausted. You have been fighting battles in the dark that nobody else sees. You carry a heavy weight on your shoulders every single day, and despite all your immense effort, the breakthrough always feels just out of reach. You watch other people succeed effortlessly while you struggle for every inch. This is not an accident. The universe is deliberately pausing your life for a profound reason. Heaven is holding you back right now to protect you from entering the wrong doors. But there is something else happening beneath the surface. A hidden mechanism is currently blocking your spiritual frequency. You feel it in your chest late at night. You know deep down that you carry massive potential, yet that potential feels locked behind an invisible wall. You have tried everything to break through it. You meditate for hours, you practice gratitude, you follow every spiritual rule they told you to follow, but the massive shift you were promised has not manifested. It feels like you are shouting into an empty room. Nobody is answering you. Listen to me very carefully. You are not broken. You are not cursed. The deep isolation you are feeling is actually a divine setup. You have been separated from the crowd because you carry a rare signature. You are the anomaly. But your rare energy is currently operating on the wrong frequency, and the forces of darkness want to keep it that way forever. They are terrified of what will happen when you finally wake up. Because when a chosen one realizes their true power, the entire atmosphere shifts. Your enemies know exactly what you are capable of achieving. That is why they sent so many distractions into your timeline this year. They want you tired. They want you completely drained of all your hope. Do not let them win. You have survived 100% of your worst days. You walked through the storm entirely alone, and now you are standing at the absolute edge of your new reality. The immense wealth and peace you desire are waiting just on the other side, but you are missing one crucial piece of the puzzle. Before we go any further, I want to hold something directly in front of you, something that was discovered not inside a church or a spiritual community. It was found inside a quiet research laboratory. It is something that won the highest scientific recognition available, and most chosen ones have never been told about it. It is a deeply hidden secret. This discovery explains something I know you have felt for years. It explains the painful gap between the person you know yourself to be and the version of you that only appears in brief flashes. I will show you exactly what was found, but not yet. First, I need you to fully understand what was taken from you as a child. You must realize how the modern world systematically shut down your gifts. They did not want you to be a master of reality. They wanted you to be a quiet participant. So hold this question in your mind right now. What if the massive gap between you and your blessing is not a character flaw? What if it actually has a scientific name? This is the mystery you must unravel today. The universe led you to this message to finally hand you the missing key. If your spirit feels a sudden pull right now, that is confirmation. Your intuition is screaming at you to pay attention. Do not ignore the physical sensation in your body. It is the truth trying to break through the noise. You are standing on holy ground. Every tear you cried in secret was leading to this exact revelation. They thought they could bury you under the weight of their expectations, but they did not know you were a seed, and seeds are meant to grow in the dark. Your season of hiding is officially coming to a permanent end today. But you must be brave enough to look at the truth. The dark forces will try to distract you before this video finishes. They will urge you to click away and go back to sleep. Resist that urge with everything you have. Your entire future depends on what you do in the next few minutes. The veil is finally lifting from your eyes. You are about to understand exactly why your prayers seem delayed. The universe was never ignoring your voice. It was waiting for your internal frequency to match your external desires. And that alignment is happening right in this very room. Take one deep breath and prepare your spirit. The revelation you need is finally here. I know exactly how you wake up in the middle of the night. You open your eyes at 3 in the morning with your mind completely racing. Your chest feels tight. A strange heaviness sits right on your lungs. You try to go back to sleep, but the anxiety simply will not let you rest. The silence of your room feels absolutely crushing. You check your phone hoping for some kind of connection, but there is nothing there for you. And you gave them your endless energy while they took everything, leaving you with absolutely nothing left inside your spirit. But when you needed them most, the room was completely empty. You have spent your entire life being the rock for everyone else. People always took advantage of your pure heart. They saw your deep empathy, and they treated it like an endless resource they could drain. You forgave them over and over again because you desperately wanted to see the good in them, even when they showed you their true dark colors. But they only left you feeling betrayed and completely exhausted. It hurts so deeply to be abandoned. You start wondering if you are the problem. Stop doing that right now. I need you to hear this truth. Your immense kindness was never a weakness. It was a rare gift that they simply did not know how to handle. And because they could not match your beautiful energy, they tried to bring you down to their miserable level. You were an anomaly in their ordinary world. That crushing loneliness you feel is not a punishment. Do you truly believe heaven would punish you for having a beautiful heart? The deep isolation you are experiencing is actually divine protection. The universe had to ruthlessly remove those counterfeit connections because they were blocking the blessings meant for your future. Think about the people who suddenly walked away from you this year. It felt like a massive betrayal at the time. You cried in the dark and begged for them to understand your gentle perspective, but their sudden departure was actually a divine rescue mission designed to save you. Heaven deliberately hardened their hearts so they would leave your timeline. They were never meant to go where you are going. You are stepping into a season of massive spiritual authority and becoming a master of your own reality, which requires total peace. And a master cannot be surrounded by energy vampires. If they had stayed, they would have drained the exact energy you need right now. The isolation was the only way to shield your aura. You are a cycle breaker for your entire bloodline. You are doing the heavy lifting that your ancestors could not do. That is why the spiritual warfare feels so incredibly intense. You are fighting brutal spiritual battles that go back many generations, and you are quietly winning them in the pure silence of your lonely room. That makes you a massive threat. The darkness sees your light growing stronger every day. They desperately want you to feel completely rejected, so you will lower your high standards and crawl back to toxic environments just to avoid being lonely. Do not fall for that ancient trap. Your solitude is a sacred training ground. It is the crucible where your deep wounds are being forged into an unbreakable weapon. You must secure your energy field before we move to the next revelation. This is a crucial moment of alignment. I want you to hit subscribe right now to establish a divine energy receiving station. This simple physical act powerfully anchors your pure intention into the physical realm, and it signals to heaven that you are finally ready to receive your permanent protection. The universe responds to bold physical actions. When you bravely claim your sacred space, the chaotic energy of your past immediately loses its toxic grip on your beautiful mind. You are no longer the empath who begs to be understood. You have evolved into the empath with absolute boundaries. And those boundaries are terrifying to anyone who used to manipulate your kindness. Every closed door was a blessing. Every unanswered text was a shield. When you finally realize this profound truth, the bitter pain of rejection disappears completely, and it is quickly replaced by a massive sense of quiet authority. You stop chasing people who cannot see your immense value, because you know that your true kingdom connection is already walking toward you. Take a deep breath and let that truth settle into your bones. The terrible nights you spent crying alone were absolutely not wasted, because they were washing away the dangerous illusions you held about the fake people around you. You are waking up to a reality where you hold all the cards. But this awakening is only the beginning of what is happening to your mind right now. There is a reason your physical body is reacting so strongly to these changes. The exhaustion is not just emotional. It is a profound biological response to the massive frequency shift occurring inside your brain while you sleep, and you are literally being rewired from the inside out. Your spiritual DNA is upgrading while the rest of the world remains completely asleep. You have always felt fundamentally different from everyone else. Even when you were a tiny child, you knew things before they happened. You could feel the heavy emotions of the adults walking into the room. You had an incredibly vivid imagination and a deep connection to the invisible world around you. The universe felt like it was completely on your side. Ideas used to flow to you effortlessly. You did not have to struggle to find creative solutions. They just appeared in your mind like a sudden flash of brilliant light, and you simply knew the exact right answer without having to think hard about it at all. That was your natural state of being. You were a magnificent creator, walking in total harmony. But then something terrible happened to you. The modern world went to work on your beautiful spirit. They told you to stop daydreaming. They forced you into a rigid school system that trained you to conform instead of creating. They demanded that you sit still, follow their arbitrary rules, and silence that wonderful inner voice that guided you perfectly. Here is what they never told you. The reason the universe responds to certain people and not others is absolutely not about faith. It is not about discipline. It is not even about karma. It is a brainwave. Scientists have a specific name for it. They call it gamma, and it is the exact high frequency your brain was naturally running when you were a small child. Back then, learning felt absolutely effortless. You had photographic memory. You possessed a lightning intuition that guided you away from hidden danger. The kind of luck that makes other people whisper in total disbelief was simply your normal daily experience. But every single year, this sacred frequency was suppressed a little further by the heavy demands of survival. The chronic stress of adult life pushed that beautiful frequency deeper and deeper below the surface. The constant glowing screens overstimulated your exhausted nervous system. The endless bills and the toxic relationships locked you permanently into a low-level survival mode, and the brilliant version of you went completely silent as the gamma waves faded away into nothingness. When your gamma faded, your innate genius faded right along with it. Your sharp intuition dulled into a constant background anxiety. The beautiful synchronicities that used to happen every single day simply stopped occurring. And that profound sense that the entire universe was working with you went completely dark. You felt like you had been abandoned by God. Most people will live their entire lives without ever knowing this tragedy happened to them. They will accept the daily struggle as normal. They will believe that life is just hard and they must suffer quietly in the dark. But you are not most people. You are the chosen one. And the question I asked you to hold a few minutes ago is very important. Remember the question about the painful gap between your potential and your reality? The one asking if it had a scientific name? The answer is closer than you think. What you have been missing is not discipline or motivation. What you have lost is the exact neurological receiver required to catch the massive blessings that are constantly swirling around you in the invisible realm. You see, heaven has never stopped speaking to you. The divine signals are still broadcasting at full volume every single second of the day, but your internal radio was forcefully tuned to the wrong frequency by a toxic society. You have been trying to catch a beautiful high-definition transmission using a broken, static-filled receiver that is stuck in fear mode. This is exactly why your deep meditations felt so frustrating and empty lately. You were trying to force a spiritual breakthrough while your physical brain was still trapped in the beta waves of chronic panic. It was a biological mismatch. You were fighting a losing battle against your own heavily suppressed nervous system. But this suppression ends today. You finally have a name for the invisible enemy. It is not a curse placed upon you by a jealous neighbor. It is not bad luck. It is the deliberate neurological suppression of your gamma frequency by a world that profits immensely from your constant exhaustion. A tired population is a population that can be easily manipulated. And they manipulated you for years. They wanted you to believe that your childhood magic was just a foolish fantasy. They wanted you to accept an ordinary, miserable existence where you work yourself to the bone just to barely survive. But your rare spirit never fully accepted that dark lie. You always knew there was a secret door waiting for you somewhere in the shadows. And now you are finally standing directly in front of that secret door. You understand the mechanism of your past failures. You know exactly what was taken from you without your consent. The heavy guilt you carried for not achieving your dreams is finally washing away. You did not fail. You were simply operating a brilliant machine that was deliberately unplugged. The system was explicitly designed to keep you exhausted. They built a matrix of endless distractions. They profit heavily from your deep panic. And every time you feel hopeless about your finances, the dark system successfully feeds on your heavy emotional energy. They do not want you to thrive. They only want you to survive. Look back at the toxic people who drained you. The narcissists were not just random accidents in your life. They were literal agents of this dark suppression. They were specifically assigned to keep your vibration low, so you would never remember your true power. You thought you could heal them with love, but they only wanted to consume your brilliant light. They hated you for exposing their darkness. Your pure presence made them feel incredibly uncomfortable. They mocked your dreams to keep you small. And when you finally stopped apologizing for your bright energy, they became absolutely terrified of your sudden, quiet confidence. They tried to make you feel guilty for walking away. Do not look back at them. You must purge this old energy right now. You cannot carry their heavy baggage into your new timeline. Forgiveness does not mean giving them access to your sacred space again. It means taking a sharp sword and cutting the invisible energetic cord that tied you to their miserable reality. Let them stay exactly where they belong. You are moving forward. The people who hurt you are currently panicking. They can feel that they have lost all control over you. Your silence has become a terrifying weapon to them, because you are no longer reacting to their petty manipulations or begging for their fake validation. You have completely detached from their toxic frequency. Your energy now demands immediate respect. This is the era of your quiet authority. You do not need to explain yourself to anyone anymore. You are a cycle breaker for your entire bloodline. And the heavy curses that plagued your family for generations are suddenly breaking the moment you decide to raise your standards. The purge is happening physically inside your body. You are shedding the old skin. You must physically anchor this massive shift today. The universe needs to see your absolute commitment to this new path. Type 1 down in the comments to claim this alignment. It is a powerful declaration to heaven that you are finally ready to receive your massive blessing, and it permanently seals your energetic borders against the darkness. Take a deep breath and let the fear vanish. The dark system cannot touch you when your frequency is elevated. You are the master of your own brilliant reality. They wanted you to believe that you were a victim of random bad luck, but there is absolutely nothing random about your incredibly rare spiritual signature. You were built for this. Your enemies are watching everything they built slowly crumble. The fake friends who betrayed you are sitting in the absolute ruins of their own terrible choices. They thought throwing you to the wolves would somehow elevate their own miserable status in the world. But you became the very wolf they were trying to use against you. Your strength is now undeniable. Do not feel sorry for them anymore. You cannot save people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Your empathy with boundaries is your greatest shield. Let them sit in the dark while you step into the glorious light of your new timeline. The universe is removing everything that cannot sustain your future weight. You are being emptied, so you can be filled. The pain of loss is just a toxic chain breaking. You are no longer chained to their heavy expectations. And as you release the ghosts of your painful past, your spirit becomes incredibly light and perfectly receptive to the miracles rushing toward you. Embrace the total emptiness. The purge is the most painful part of the awakening. It requires you to be brutally honest with your own soul. You must admit that you stayed in those dead rooms for far too long, but you did not know any better at the time, because your beautiful mind was still heavily suppressed by the very system designed to break you. Forgive your younger self. You did the absolute best you could. You survived a war that would have completely destroyed an ordinary person. Your resilience is a testament to your divine origin. Now it is time to lay down your heavy weapons, stop fighting the ghosts of yesterday, and prepare your nervous system for the massive blessings that are finally arriving. You are completely safe now. Do not try to force the pieces together. Let the old timeline collapse exactly as it should. The chaos is just the dust settling from your spiritual upgrade. People will walk away, opportunities will suddenly vanish, but everything that leaves right now is simply making massive room for the astonishing reality that heaven promised you long ago. You can feel the heavy atmosphere changing right now. The thick fog that surrounded your beautiful mind for years is suddenly lifting away. Your physical body is reacting to an invisible energetic upgrade, and you are finally transitioning out of survival mode into a state of absolute grace. This is the massive shift you wanted. The universe is finally opening the doors that were slammed shut in your face. The profound waiting season is completely over. You endured the bitter cold of winter for so long, and now the glorious spring is breaking through the frozen ground. Your spirit is being elevated to match the frequency of your highest timeline. You did the painful inner work when nobody was watching. You healed wounds that you did not even create. And because you stayed incredibly faithful in the dark, heaven is preparing a beautiful table for you right in the presence of your enemies. The massive reward for your silent suffering is manifesting in the physical realm today. But there is a deeper layer to this phenomenon. Your spiritual awakening requires a physical anchor to truly lock in the blessings. The universe often provides the exact tool we need right when we are finally ready to receive it. And science is finally catching up to what your beautiful soul already knew all along. Before we go any further, I have to tell you a massive secret. It is something the elite people who profit from your exhaustion absolutely do not want you to know. A brilliant team of neuroscientists working quietly away from the headlines has discovered something incredible, and they finally found a way to bring your dormant gamma brainwave back. They did not achieve this through years of difficult meditation that most people simply cannot sustain. They did not use massive biofeedback machines that cost $7,000 and require a clinical setting. They discovered a path that is far simpler and far more aligned with how you were originally designed to function. It is a specific sound frequency perfectly engineered to guide your brainwave patterns back to the genius state. Princeton University has studied this exact phenomenon. The Einstein Center in Berlin confirmed the incredible results, and Columbia University even found that when this brainwave is reactivated, the beautiful energy radiates outward. When your gamma frequency turns back on, it begins to positively influence the people around you. It touches your children and your partner. It takes only 7 minutes a day to create this massive neurological shift, and the physical rewiring begins working the very first time you close your eyes and listen to the track. The question you have been holding since the beginning of this message is finally being answered today. I will tell you exactly what this tool is called and how to access it before this message ends. You just need to stay with me for a few more minutes, because you cannot let the darkness pull your attention away right before the grand reveal. But first, there is something you need to deeply understand about your new reality. The sudden clarity you will experience is going to shock the people around you. When the mental fog clears, you will instantly recognize the divine synchronicities that were always waiting for you. The universe will start speaking to you very clearly. You will no longer second-guess your sharp intuition. When a toxic person tries to enter your life, your restored brain will immediately detect their false frequency. You will completely bypass the traps that used to keep you stuck in miserable cycles, and that is the incredible power of a brain operating at its highest natural capacity. The massive gap between your dreams and your reality is rapidly closing. You are standing on the bridge between the spiritual realm and the physical world. Your brilliant mind is the exact receiver that translates divine favor into earthly wealth, and that receiver is being fully repaired and upgraded in this precise moment in time. Take one slow and real breath right now. Feel the strange tightness in your chest finally loosening its grip. The frantic anxiety that used to control your mornings is losing all of its dark power over you. You are stepping into an era of profound peace, where complex problems simply solve themselves with very little effort on your part. The universe is aligning a beautiful collision of perfect timing and restored mental clarity. You are no longer fighting the chaotic current of life. You are floating effortlessly down a golden river of divine favor, and the most beautiful part is that you do not have to struggle or fight to maintain this elevated state. Everything is becoming incredibly easy for you now. The heavy armor you wore to survive the old battles is falling off your tired shoulders. Let it fall completely to the ground today. You will never need that heavy defense mechanism again, because your restored energy field is the only protection you will ever need from this day forward. The universe always sends physical signs before a massive miracle arrives in your timeline. You are never left entirely in the dark. Heaven always communicates through very specific and repeating patterns, and right now, these divine markers are appearing everywhere you look to confirm your massive upgrade. You must pay close attention to your surroundings today. Sign number 1 is the undeniable repetition of sacred numbers. You are seeing 1, 1, 1, and 7, 7, 7 everywhere you go. It happens constantly on digital clocks and store receipts. This is absolutely not a random coincidence, playing tricks on your tired mind. It is the universe clearly signaling that your internal frequency perfectly aligns with wealth. Sign number 2 is a sudden intolerance for meaningless noise. You no longer have the precious energy for shallow conversations or fake smiles. Your beautiful soul is deeply craving absolute silence. And this sudden urge to isolate yourself is simply your aura completely rejecting any lower vibration that threatens your peace. You are naturally protecting the blessing. Sign number 3 is the inexplicable panic of your hidden enemies. The people who plotted against you are suddenly experiencing massive chaos in their lives. They are watching you thrive in absolute silence. And because they can no longer access your beautiful energy, they are terrified of the powerful reality you are quickly building without them. These signs are hard proof that the waiting season is truly over. The dry desert you walked through has suddenly burst into a glorious oasis. Every single closed door is currently being blown completely off its hinges. Can you feel that massive shift in your spirit right now? That is the exact frequency of your absolute victory finally manifesting. You are stepping into the exact timeline you were born to rule. The universe had to ruthlessly isolate you to prepare you for this massive weight. A normal person would have been completely crushed by the intense pressure you bravely endured. But you are absolutely not a normal person. You are a rare soul forged in the fires of profound spiritual warfare. You became the incredibly dangerous weapon you were originally trying to survive. The silence after the brutal storm hits differently when you realize you were the storm all along. Your presence alone now shifts the atmosphere of every single room you enter. You do not even have to speak to command absolute respect from the broken people around you. But before we go any further, I must warn you about something urgent. There is a fatal trap set right at the finish line. 99% of chosen ones fall for this dark illusion right before their biggest breakthrough. The enemy knows they cannot stop your blessing, so they will try to trick you into rejecting it yourself. This trap usually appears right before the glorious dawn breaks. The darkness will send a counterfeit connection to test your new boundaries. An old toxic person might suddenly reach out with a totally fake apology. Or a seemingly perfect financial opportunity will appear that actually requires you to compromise your pure morals. Do not fall for this trick. This is the ultimate test of your spiritual maturity. Heaven is watching your response in this exact second to see if you have truly learned your lesson. Will you invite the terrible chaos back inside? Or will you keep the heavy door firmly locked and fiercely protect your sacred peace? You must ignore the counterfeit completely to pass this final test. A fully healed person absolutely no longer tolerates confusion disguised as love. You no longer tolerate blatant disrespect disguised as brutal honesty. The dark system is terrified because you have finally stopped playing their rigged game. And when you stop playing their miserable game, you instantly become the master of your own glorious reality. Let the counterfeit fade back into the miserable shadows where it belongs. Keep your eyes completely locked on the beautiful horizon directly in front of you. The authentic blessing is waiting for you to clear the final emotional hurdle. And once you demonstrate that you cannot be easily manipulated anymore, the floodgates of heaven will burst open. You are about to receive a massive generational wealth transfer. This is not just about having enough money to merely survive the month. This is about establishing a powerful legacy that your future grandchildren will deeply thank you for. You are the brave cycle breaker who is permanently rewriting the financial destiny of your entire bloodline today. Every tear you cried is being converted into massive spiritual currency. The deep pain of your lonely past was simply the heavy purchase price for your magnificent future. You bought this glorious timeline with your own blood and sweat. Nobody can ever take this hard-earned victory away from you, because heaven has already signed the permanent deed. The waiting season is officially over. Every closed door is being blown completely off its hinges right now. The dry desert you walked through has suddenly burst into a glorious oasis of divine favor. You are stepping into the exact timeline you were born to rule. The massive wealth you were promised is flowing effortlessly toward you. Can you feel that intense shift in your spirit? That is the frequency of absolute victory, finally locking into place. The universe is handing you the keys to the kingdom, but you must be biologically ready to receive it. The massive blessing requires a restored receiver to catch the pure signal. And the question I asked you to hold at the beginning of this beautiful message is finally ready to be answered. What if the heavy gap between your current struggle and your destiny is not a character flaw? Here is the absolute truth you have been waiting for. The question I asked you to hold at the beginning of this message: what if the gap is not a character flaw? Here is the answer. A specific brainwave called the gamma wave was running in you as a child at genius-level capacity. Princeton University has extensively studied it. The Einstein Center in Berlin beautifully confirmed it. Columbia University found that when this profound brainwave is restored, it radiates outward and begins powerfully influencing the people you love. A brilliant team of neuroscientists, led by Dr. Robert Lake in New York, spent years compressing the full clinical protocol for gamma reactivation into 7 minutes. Before I tell you what they brilliantly built, let me tell you about 2 incredible people who used it. A tired woman from California had tried absolutely everything. Meditation, manifesting, constant prayer. Nothing broke the heavy fog. After 2 short weeks of listening, she said something miraculously cleared. Not that she tried harder, but that the divine channel simply opened wide. Her marriage shifted beautifully. Her mind sharpened. She described her life as enchanted for the first time. A hard-working man from Texas started using it to improve his business focus. 2 months later, his wife joked that his IQ had jumped 20 points. The hardest problems he used to lose sleep over started miraculously solving themselves while he slept. He said it felt like his brain was finally running on what it was always meant to run on. That is because of what the brilliant researchers I am about to name finally discovered. They call it the Genius Song. It is absolutely not a meditation app. It is not a generic sound frequency. It is a 7-minute audio track using advanced brain entrainment technology. It is the exact same underlying research that Princeton and Berlin validated, wonderfully compressed from 1 full hour of clinical protocol into something you do at home with headphones and closed eyes. That is the entirety of what it requires. 7 minutes. You do not meditate, you do not chant at all. You simply let the pure frequency do what your brain was designed to instantly receive. The Genius Song is not for everyone. It is for the chosen one who has already done the heavy inner work. It is for the beautiful soul who understands that what is being blocked is not their faith, but the pure frequency through which both of those things are supposed to easily move. If your spirit confirms this is for you, the path is below. Biofeedback sessions to restore this powerful state cost hundreds of dollars per hour in a clinical setting. An in-home machine easily runs thousands. What the Genius Song beautifully delivers in 7 minutes is available to you today for a fraction of its true value. 4 powerful bonuses beautifully come with it. You receive an audio designed specifically for your children's deep focus, the original prosperity text that the secret was secretly built upon, a guided visualization, and a daily habits guide built to permanently sustain the gamma state beyond each listening session. Here is the deeper truth about waiting. The beautiful provision God arranged for you does not arrive as something entirely new. It powerfully arrives as a recognition. Something already placed in your path becomes visible when gamma is restored. The chosen one who restores the receiver today does not receive something new. They finally see what was always there. Waiting is not neutral. Do not look for this on YouTube or Spotify. The tracks circulating under similar names on those popular platforms have no brain entrainment technology encoded. They carry the name because the barrier to doing so is absolute zero. The only authentic version is safely available through the official link that has been protected for you. The loving universe requires no risk from you. If you do not feel the immediate energetic shift, every single penny is returned. That is an energetic exchange governed by complete trust. The link is in the description below and in the pinned comment. The tool is not the ultimate destination. The tool merely restores the broken receiver so the beautiful destination can be instantly recognized when it finally arrives. God absolutely does not require you to purchase anything to be loved or perfectly chosen. What was just described is simply one way the receiver is quickly restored. Whether that path is for you or not, the truth of this powerful message belongs to you entirely. Now let us go deeper into what is waiting for you today. The chains of generational poverty are completely shattered. The heavy anxiety that used to choke your throat is dissolving into pure golden light. You are finally stepping into a beautiful season where your quiet presence commands massive respect without a single word spoken. The universe has already reserved the absolute best seat for you. Prepare your beautiful heart to receive the massive flood of endless blessings. For the chosen one, whose spirit confirmed what was described earlier, the powerful frequency tool remains available in the description for those who are ready. If your intuition gave you the exact signal, the secure path is still completely open right now. That is the last time it will generally be mentioned today. What follows now belongs entirely to your permanent sealing. I want you to take one final moment to honor the incredible journey you have survived. You walked through the absolute darkest valleys without a single person holding your hand, and when the brutal storm raged violently around you, you became your own steady sanctuary. You gathered your completely broken pieces in the quiet dark, and you quietly built a magnificent castle out of the heavy stones they maliciously threw at you. You are absolutely no longer the weak empath who begged to be understood. The terrible crucible of pain has completely forged you into the untouchable master of your reality. From this exact moment on, your beautiful energy demands massive respect without a single word spoken. The divine wealth you were promised is finally flowing effortlessly into your brand new timeline. You are totally free. The painful isolation you endured was truly a divine isolation. It kept you safely hidden from the chaotic distractions of the ordinary world, while heaven was busy upgrading your entire spiritual framework. You were wrapped in a protective cocoon of profound silence. And now, you are finally emerging with completely renewed strength and astonishing clarity. The ordinary world is simply not ready for your massive brilliance. The profound silence you carry is now your most dangerous weapon. The narcissists who used to feed on your precious energy can no longer tolerate the brilliant light radiating from your soul. They are completely blocked from accessing your new high frequency. You have permanently evicted every toxic entity that tried to take residence in your beautiful mind. They can only watch your absolute victory from the cold shadows. But as you step fully into this glorious light, you must lock the doors behind you. The dark forces will attack you the second you turn off this powerful message. They desperately want you to forget the immense spiritual power you just realized today. They pray that you leave this sacred space without claiming your divine protection, but you cannot give them that evil satisfaction. You must act now. You must physically anchor this massive frequency shift in the material world. The universe always requires a deliberate act of physical agreement to finalize a binding spiritual contract. When you bring your pure intention into the physical realm, it creates an unbreakable shield of radiant energy around your entire aura. This is exactly how you permanently lock out the miserable darkness. Your physical action seals the blessing. Type Amen down in the comments right now to firmly seal this magnificent reality. This simple action is a sharp sword cutting through the heavy chains of your painful past, and it clearly tells the entire universe that you are fully ready to receive your kingdom connection. Do not let this vital moment pass you by while you sit in silence. Claim your absolute victory right now before the enemy distracts you again. God is watching your brave response in this exact passing second. Will you hoard this incredible blessing, or will you partner with heaven to spread the glorious light? I have spent hours in deep prayer and fought heavy spiritual battles just to deliver this urgent message to your screen today. You have a sacred responsibility to keep this beautiful energy moving forward into the world. Do not let the chain of miracles stop with you. The enemy wants you to close this window and immediately forget everything you just heard. They want you to slip quietly back into the miserable matrix of pure survival. But you are far too awake to ever fall for their desperate illusions again, because your spiritual eyes have finally been opened to the absolute truth. You recognize the divine alignment taking place in your massive heart right now. You are fully awake and totally untouchable. If this fiery message has reignited the beautiful faith inside you, do not keep it hidden. There is a broken soul out there bleeding in the dark of despair, and they desperately need a guiding light to find their way home today. Share this video with them right now. Sowing the powerful seed of hope today is multiplying the infinite blessing for yourself tomorrow. The universe actively rewards those who share the divine truth. You are the brave cycle breaker that your entire bloodline has been desperately waiting for. Future generations will look back and thank you for the brutal battles you fought in absolute silence. The ancient curses that plagued your family for decades are permanently broken today, and you are successfully establishing a powerful legacy of infinite abundance and deep spiritual peace. The war is completely over. The universe is incredibly proud of your massive resilience. You did not break under the crushing pressure when ordinary people would have completely surrendered. You beautifully evolved into a glorious weapon of pure, bright light. The heavy tears you cried in secret have successfully watered the magnificent garden of your new destiny, and the beautiful harvest is finally ready for you to collect. You earned every single piece of this wonderful reward. Walk into your new timeline with your head held extremely high. The deep sorrow of yesterday is completely gone forever. The majestic dawn of your greatest era is shining its brightest rays onto your spiritual crown right now. You are the chosen one, and from this day forward, nothing will ever be the same again. Heaven is officially yours.